There's been plenty of moments that I fell in hard times. More often than not, getting faded was my lifeline. I realized that I've always struggled with change, but sometimes you gotta rearrange before you go insane. I've been doing my best to stay true to myself, put my next foot forward and smoking dope for my health. I never give up the music till I'm rolling in wealth. Some days I swear this basement's my own personal hell. Well, I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I confess I'm obsessed with the sex. Heart palpitations every time that she texts. I admit that we ain't always been the best for each other, but what is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. I love the sound. What is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. When I'm with you, my ego shrink. I'm just craving time for us alone. I think about you every time I'm home smoking dope. I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. Love it when you call me, tell me to come over. We can get high together. When we're feeling lonely, fuck it when I'm sober. We can just fly together. Feel so low when I'm without you. Don't got dough, but what I got is potential. You know that I am rich with that. Stay with me, it's only growth, we don't plateau. I know you dealt with shitty past, I promise always got your back. Yeah, keep it ice cold. Yeah, baby, ice cold. I've been buzzing thinking about you all day, yeah. I hope you know you're not alone, baby. I bring you closer to me, goddamn, baby. Got me feeling complete, I guess it's your divine energy. I feel your divine energy. Yeah, I bring you closer to me, goddamn. I feel better when you're closer to me. Yeah, your divine energy. I feel your divine energy. I'm probably never driving Monte Carlo, but I still be shutting in the room like Doomslayer, Donnie Darko. Feel so low when I go down the depths of my brain. That shit got me feeling insane. I'm fucked up, no question about it. Drawn to you like my head took concussions. We got something up, I'll fuck shit, show you off at family functions. One thing that I've learned, I don't know nothing. I'm not bluffing, stop your fronting. Is this love or is this nothing? I bring you closer to me, goddamn, baby. Got me feeling complete, I guess it's your divine energy. I feel your divine energy. Yeah, I bring you closer to me, goddamn. I feel better when you're closer to me. Yeah, your divine energy. I feel your divine energy. Your divine energy.
Happy Monday, everybody. How we doing? I'm joined by my dog. He won't leave me alone. So if you see a giant head come up, that is my dog. He's a Rottweiler. He's not a bear. Anyways, how's it going, Marie? How's it going? You're a champion, bro. Thank you, Muhammad. I appreciate it. Yo, yo. When start, there's a timer in the top right. I just give it like a 5-minute intro. The music's done by a close friend of mine, and the intro is not. It's just there so people can see the notification. That way, when we start, no one's missed out. No, you can see it from start to finish. It gives everyone like a 5-minute window just to get ready. Oh, didn't see the timer. Oh, well, I didn't see your second message. My bad. Jimmy Hook. People are totally shocked by the market today, but if you were watching this stream, you saw this coming. The weekly death cross, the post Bitcoin conference dump. It was all here before it happened. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this price action for months, and although we saw a nice move to the upside, we hit 47, 48K, at least with per my system and what I've told my students. One thing, if you're a trader, don't trade against your system. And two, let the trades come to you. Don't actively look for trades. If something looks weird, just don't trade it. Let it ride. There will be plenty of opportunities. Guys, what happened? We had an extended version of this. That's all it was. Was this worth trading? No, because we continued going lower. Was this worth buying? So far, no. We're almost back to the level where you could have bought down here or maybe even here. In my opinion, if you're laddering your trades, if you're swing trading, I would have only made like 4%. So a trade for me like that just isn't worth it. And my risk, I would have been very, very risk off here. I would have done such small amounts where it wouldn't even been worth trading at all. So I've been mostly chilling. I did enter a short at 48,000. It was like 47,900. Yes, I do have that order, and yes, I am willing to show it if need be. Where did I sell it? I actually sold it at like 44, 45, maybe even 43. I honestly can't remember. I decided to just take a break from trading. I hadn't taken a break in over a year. I knew the direction was down, and to be honest, I've made like 80 to 90% of my net worth longing. Shorting's fun, and it's fun to make money while people lose, but ultimately the big trades for me are when I long. What's up, Pure? I think it's Piotr. How's it going? Roman is one of the few influencers who talks the truth. Thank you, I appreciate it. Play at 1.5 to catch up. Bulls couldn't even get to 50K. How's it going, you sir? All right. Let's get into some TA. Might keep it a little brief today, but maybe not. I don't know. I got a lot of time today. Got like at least 2 hours before I got to go do stuff. All right. Well, we'll see. But yeah, I just want to say, guys, we do have a free Discord. You're more than welcome to join. But if you're going to be a degenerate, you are definitely going to get banned. And if you're one of those people, and we've unfortunately had to ban a couple people recently, if you're one of those people that comes in and you learn how to trade in a bull market, and all you have is this up-only thesis, and you're not willing to see, and you only use lines on a chart, your analysis is going to get critiqued pretty hard. We have some very serious traders in the Discord, some very experienced people, and don't be surprised if you get critiqued. All right, let's look into this. So, one, I have this theory, and this might be kind of hard to understand at first. So, before every recession, we actually have a pretty large dump, and then we actually break all-time highs in the stock market briefly with very, very low volume, and that before continuing back down to the downside. So essentially, it's called the fifth wave theory before a recession. You have a decent-sized dump, and then the stock market actually regains all-time highs with hardly any volume. It's mostly just an exit pump. Yes, it's breaking all-time highs, but you never really know when to sell it. So I have this theory that we are actually seeing the fifth wave now, and we're not going to get a fifth wave. So what a lot of investors are saying is that, well, not a lot of investors, because actually a lot of investors are saying bear market right now. A lot of people are saying fifth wave, we're actually going to jump and do one of these before tumbling to the downside. Well, I have this theory, and it's kind of backed by macroeconomics. He's flipping out. It's backed by macroeconomics. We saw a COVID crash. And although a lot of that was fear-based, a lot of that was of the essence that we didn't know what was happening. It's called a black swan event. We actually recovered and just kept going up. And we kept going up without an economy that was going up. I know some businesses did very, very well in COVID. Some were, some did very well, but overall the economy has suffered. And most of the money in the market between this period here and even all the way down here in some respect, a lot of that was just printed money. That the government just printed money and threw it into the market. Most of this, actually, that I've circled down here, that was money the government printed and put into the market to save the market from dumping further, to save those 401ks and to save that fear, which really doesn't make a lot of sense to me because the market will always bounce back if the economy keeps going strong. But regardless, I think our fifth wave, and I could be wrong about this, but this is our fifth wave. And I think now recession is going to start earlier than we expect, and we're going to slowly tumble down, possibly going below COVID lows. And again, a lot of people are like, that sounds crazy. We're going to drop 50%. Well, in 2008, the S&P dropped 55%. So if we just take that as a guideline, 55% is a little bit lower than the COVID lows. I could definitely see that. Definitely see something like that happening. I'm very well anticipating that. What does that mean for crypto? Well, your risky assets are going to lose 80 to 100% of their value. 100 meaning the project will fail completely. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum will stay alive, but 99% of your altcoins will cease to exist after this recessive period. Peter Yan was robbed. I didn't watch that fight, man. Unfortunately, I got wasted before that fight came, so I never got a chance to watch. I like Peter Yan. I feel like he beats that guy 10 out of 10 times. Puerto Rico in the house. Where are we at? I'm actually in the United States. I'm in the Midwest. Looking forward to move back to Florida here soon. Trying to long everything on Binance at the moment. I wouldn't long everything just yet. We're going to get into more longer term stuff. I think that's a terrible idea to open longs right now. But it's your money. You do what you want. So S&P, again, we rejected right at our resistance. We've been tracking this. We've said multiple times that this is more than likely going to be a slow grind to the downside. It's not going to be one of these. It's not going to be like a black swan event crash. It's going to be like this, where we just do a wavelength down over the period of time. Maybe we have some sharp dips, some sharp up, but regardless, it's still just going to grind to the downside. We've said this since this period here, that this is what it's going to be, and so far, that's what it is. You're more than welcome to go back and look at prior live streams where we've also been tracking this death cross here on the weekly for the S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ, and so far, it is respecting it just like it has with Bitcoin. NASDAQ, obviously the worst looking of all the index funds, the furthest down. We actually went down and are now retesting the 50, so we actually broke down through the 50, retesting the 50, and we should continue to the downside. This is a very bearish scenario where you have a breakdown and retest. Just like when you have a breakout, you'll have a breakout, retest, and then continue going to the upside. That's a very bullish scenario. So again, this scenario in here, very, very bearish. We expect pain from that scenario. Total charts. This is where things get very interesting. We have not changed any of the support resistances on this chart for the last couple months. We have rejected right at my golden line. I said that this was a possibility, although I didn't think it would happen. We literally rejected here, and now we should continue to go lower. If we open this as a line chart, you can see that as a line chart, we've literally only gone down. Well, nothing ever goes down or up in a straight line. You have to have pullbacks. You have to have areas of relief so that we can continue in the direction that trend is going. So now we've essentially retested an area of prior support, which is now future resistance, and we should continue to the downside. This was not a very hard move to follow, and honestly, it doesn't surprise me that this has happened at all. We very much expected this. Total 2, same thing. Breakdown, retest. For me, I thought we were just going to continue going down, but the retest is actually very healthy and still extremely bearish. We are now forming a death cross on Total 2, and I believe all the total charts. So if you're still kind of in that disbelief area where you're still bullish, you might want to consider that and look at what happened with prior death crosses. We'll go with the one on Bitcoin, but for now, just be very aware that this whole scenario that's been building is most likely just distribution to continue to the downside. So, all right, now get into the DXY. DXY, extremely bullish. Not much to say about that. We've been following this double bottom for a long time. We knew that this was happening. We've seen the bullishness and the extent of how bullish the DXY has been. We were actually rejected off the 100 area. Not surprised. I still don't see any type of scenario where this comes down yet. It's looking incredibly bullish on the weekly. Maybe some bearish divergence here on the weekly, but to me, honestly, this is just continuation to keep going to the upside. You have to remember, you can be overbought for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. That doesn't matter to me, though. The overall trend looks extremely strong to the upside, and that is completely bearish for your other assets like stocks, crypto, real estate, used cars, anything else you invest in. Any commodity worth trading? Oil, maybe. I don't really look at the commodities. A lot of alts have potential. No, they don't. I don't know who's telling you a lot of these alts have potential. 99% of alts are used as exit liquidity regardless. When do you think we can buy Bitcoin again? Once you see every news headline say recession. What do you think of make Bitcoin open interest at all-time high? I don't really care for open interest. It's never been a trading signal for me. Everyone said open interest is the highest it's been before every single crash. And again, I'm not interested in data. That doesn't help me trade. We are continuing to drop. We are losing support after support. The next support is 37K, but at that point, we have broken through our bear flag. Let's keep going on here. So Bitcoin, the biggest chart I want to show you guys today is this one. And probably one of the most important charts that I will show for the next couple days to weeks. Every single time we've had a death cross. Every single time throughout Bitcoin's entire history, we've had a death cross on the weekly, 20 over 50. We've seen a 50+% crash, even in COVID. Now, the reason why I didn't circle the COVID event, not because we bounced and started the bull market and went higher. This is a black swan event and honestly shouldn't have happened. If COVID never happened, this market probably would have just continued going sideways and then would have gone up. Regardless, the COVID event, we're not using that in our analysis because it was a black swan event. It shouldn't have happened. But regardless, I want you to take a look at this. Every single time we have a death cross, every single time it's a 63% drop. In 2014, we had one. We dropped 63% from death cross to absolute bottom, which just so happened to be around the 200 weekly moving average. Just going to kind of draw that like that, around the 200 weekly moving average. Here in 2017, we have another death cross, a dump, literally a 63% drop, all the way to the bottom around 3,000. Now we have another death cross in 2022. If we have a 63% drop, which again, been consistent with both markets, or with both time periods, we should ultimately drop to around 17 to 20K. In my opinion, that entirely depends on how harsh this recession is, this recessionary period. If recession gets really, really bad, I could definitely see a 6 to 12K Bitcoin. No questions asked. Bitcoin has only seen the stock market in an up-only scenario. So if the stock market pulls back 50, 60%. Well, we've actually seen that. The stock market pulled back 20 to 30%, I believe, when COVID crashed, and Bitcoin dropped about 70%, 70% from top to bottom. Let's even take a look. Yeah, 63%. So if the stock market drops double, I mean, obviously Bitcoin can't drop 120%, but I would imagine that Bitcoin drops around anywhere between 60 and 80% from where we currently are. So let's even say top to bottom. Let's go 80%. 80% is around 12K, 13K, just where that little bit of support would be, about 12.7, 13.7 area. So again, although a lot of people think that this is a very impossible scenario, you have to remember that this market has never seen a stock bear market or a stock market recession, an economic downturn. So keep that in mind when you see these analysts say this is impossible, this will never happen. Guys, there are no absolutes in trading. Anything can happen. We're seeing whales sell their Bitcoin in the tens of thousands. People are taking profits and they're selling as quickly as they can. All of what's happened over the last year, this is called distribution. All of this is distribution. They are selling because they know that this is going to drop significantly. Felt like alt season was misleading info bears put out just to short us. Alt season already happened. Alt season happened last year between April and July, and even somewhat into the fall, like October, November. This notion that alt season hasn't happened, that we're going to have another alt season, it's already happened. You've unfortunately missed out if you did not partake in last year's alt season. Can you even DCA or long today's dip? I'm not DCAing until we're below 30K. Not a chance. DXY is only strong because Euro is weak. The DXY is strong because the United States federal government has begun tapering, and they're trying to reduce the amount of inflation in our economy. It's not because the Euro is weak. It's not because of anything else. It is literally because we are trying to promote the value of the dollar so that we don't go into a harsher recession. What do you think about binding ruble with gold? I don't really look into that kind of stuff. Not going to lie. So no alt season. Nope. You missed it. Alt season already happened. All right, let's keep moving on. I'm going to get into the daily here. Let's expand the chart. So first things first, I've had a lot of questions in Discord. How did you know that this was going to happen? Where did you get this analysis from? So first thing I want you guys to point out, from bottom here, or even bottom here, so from this point in volume to the top, I want you to notice something, that volume goes down. Sorry, that was a terrible arrow. Volume goes down as price is going up. This is the definition of a dead cat bounce. If we also zoom out, you guys can notice that this is literally just a straight line down with no true pullback, no true area where we had relief. The daily was extremely oversold here. So this is actually sideways consolidation to continue going to the downside. This is perfectly normal in any type of scenario where you're in an uptrend or downtrend. If you're in an uptrend, so I want you guys to look at this, vice versa scenario. Uptrend, sideways, more up, pullback before going back up, and then ultimately distributing and going down. So here we have down, small little pullback, sideways, and should go down. Again, these are opposing scenarios of each other. If you're in a bull market, you're in a bull trend, upward trend, you should still expect periods of consolidation or pullbacks. That's very normal. They should be bought up very quickly, and you should continue going up. Here we have sellers in control the whole time because we're seeing bearish price action everywhere. So just kind of pointing out a very similar scenario, but to the up, I guess the up only side. So again, just between price action, we've been looking at, even from the bottom here all the way to the new top here, you can see that volume has been going down the whole time, where vice versa, we had top here, bottom here, and volume is going down the whole time while price is going down. This is actually very bullish, and this is actually bearish. So for any of the people that said this is the same thing as this, and again, excuse my writing, it's very, very hard to draw on TradingView. The people that were saying this was the same thing as this, they don't know how to analyze price action. They don't know how to analyze macro market scale, and they should stick to their 15-minute charts, because these two things are not the same thing, and I've called that out plenty of times on stream. We very much knew the result, or we will. I mean, we haven't technically broken down yet, but we're at the bottom of support. So you have a couple options here. You could certainly long this if you want. We are at support, but if I'm going to be completely honest, after a dead cat bounce here, we should see volume start to pick up and ultimately drop to our next support level, or our horizontal support level, which is around 38 to about 37K. If we lose this area, you can guess what's next, around the 29 to 30K area. So you're more than welcome to long a diagonal support, but if I'm going to be honest with you, diagonal lines are not nearly as accurate as horizontal support and resistance. So basing on moving averages, we can assume we are starting in the bear market. That is why we should probably look more for short entries to follow the trend. Actually, I disagree. You should look for an area to begin dollar cost averaging. The bear market is literally the best place to accumulate any coin that you want. And I don't want you to get sucked into this this notion that you need to short to make money. Guys, if we drop 50% from here, you should be buying. You should be buying in small amounts. So you should learn what dollar cost averaging is. So from here, this is our capitulation point, right about 30. Sorry, it's not all the way to 26. It's about here. You lose this level here. So if price does one of these, you should begin dollar cost averaging all of this. All of this where this line goes, any of this, anything here. That's where you should begin dollar cost averaging. My delivery here. That was just the dog going up the stairs. So instead of trying to, yes, you could certainly short this. That's definitely an opportunity to short, but I would argue that it's twice as hard to trade, even the short side in a bear market, because you have low volume pumps, you have these little relief rallies. I would look more for dollar cost average opportunities rather than short plays. But even still, let's continue moving on. So the daily MACD looking pretty awful. It looks like we're going to continue going to the downside. I will say that volume is still pretty low in this area. I'd like to see volume pick up, but ultimately I think we will see it as we approach the support level, which would break this bear flag, probably a bounce back to 3940K, and then continuing lower to the downside. All right. Well, let's see if we can get anything else on like the lower time frames, like the 4 hour or anything like that. So, actually, let's look at the 12 hour first. 12 hour, yeah, I don't like this. This is really bad. Usually, when you see a stair-stepping volume pattern with price going down, that's usually a sign that this is going to be lost, and possibly this will be lost. This horizontal support area. So if, again, my opinion, I think we're going to go down here, retest, and then continue lower. Should you trade this? No, I don't think you should. Retests don't really always have to happen. We've seen in May a 50% drop in 2 weeks with no significant pullback. So again, I wouldn't look to trade a pullback. I would be very wary of trading if we lose this this wedge. Again, with MACD still showing a lot of strength here on the selling side. RSI, no bullish divergences, no areas of weakness really at all on this 12-hour, just as similar to the daily. Again, I think our volume will continue to go up as we continue to sell, and if we do, this could get very, very ugly. I don't see a bullish reversal pattern forming at all, and again, we lose this flag here, and it's game over. Let's get in the 4 hour. So this actually gets kind of interesting as well. You're seeing volume pick up as we continue to drop. Again, a very, very bearish sign. A lot of people were saying that this was bullish divergence, and I disagreed. I disagreed because this is actually price consolidating. We're consolidating so we can continue to drop. And you can't just sit in oversold territory in RSI the whole time. You have to recover. We actually recovered right back to around the 50 level in RSI. And what this means is we have approached the mean again, so we can continue that downward trend. So ultimately, there were no divergences. We are actually still forming bearish divergences here, back into oversold territory. And again, this volume picking up here, that's a very telling sign that this support is not going to hold. Weekly MACD is changing. Yeah, I don't know why so many people are focused on MACD on the weekly. You should have been watching the death cross. The blockchain backer is a moon boy. He thinks we go back to 55K. No, it's not going to happen. Better than crypto face. We actually had bullish divergence on lower time frames, but it didn't matter. It never matters when your higher time frames are saying that there isn't any divergence. That's why I urge people, don't look below a daily, at least for sentiment. If you're a scalper, then for sure you can look at your hourly charts all you want. Excuse me. But there's nothing on this 4 hour that says we should be reversing. Nothing. Literally nothing on this 4 hour says reversal. So again, I saw a lot of tweets over the weekend and on Friday, we're going to have a bounce. We're going to go back to 44K. We're going to do this and that and this. No. All of this in here, all of this was, or I guess, sorry, all this was here and all this was here was consolidation to continue to the downside. Cannot just go in a straight line down. It's down, consolidation, down. That's how up and down trends work. Am I in a short right now? No, I'm not in a position. I took a short up here, and I sold it like somewhere in here, and then just kind of chilled. I've taken like a small little break from trading. The weather's a lot nicer, so I've just been live streaming and in Discord and stuff, but I'm just kind of waiting for a long setup at this point. When do you see Bitcoin bottoming out, given a recession, and what's your prediction on Bitcoin's next all-time high? All those questions I cannot answer. And not because I don't want to, because it's literally impossible to give any sort of answer for that. Just because I tell you that Bitcoin's going to go to maybe bottom out at 17K and then go all the way to 300K, like, that's not going to give you anything, to be honest. Yeah, Moonboys also said 100K Bitcoin when we raised the debt ceiling for 90 days a while back, which was not a good thing. No, it never was. Running for liquidity. No, I think they're just dumping. I mean, we knew that this scenario was going to happen. We've been talking about it for weeks, for months, that there has been bearish price action on every single one of these moves. And if you didn't see it happening, or you longed anywhere up here, again, you need to be careful who you follow, because there's a lot of people in this space that started trading in a bull market, and especially in the last year and a half, there's been a lot of people that have gained popularity on Twitter that were not here in 2016, 2017, and 2018. And those kind of people you want to avoid. I started trading at the end of 2017, but my trading career started a little bit before then. My crypto trading career started in 2017. So I really learned in the bear market. I learned my lessons in the bear market. I know how a bear market acts and responds and what price action looks like. So for all of these people that said bullish this, bullish that, everything's bullish, we're going to all-time highs, none of this is bullish. It's actually more bearish that we pumped all the way up here, because that tells me we are going to continue going to the downside. Do you have any altcoin on your crosshair for some relief bounce? No. The only altcoins I really look at are like Ethereum and Link. I don't really trade alts because they don't respond to TA the way that Bitcoin does. Altcoins are mostly used as scams and exit liquidity for whales. If you didn't know, like, sometimes Bitcoin and the rest of the market will be down like 10%, and there will be a random altcoin up like 20% that day. That's not because people have bought that altcoin, the XYZ. That's because whales dumped all their other coins into that one altcoin so that they could pump it and make more profits. That's why that happens. Can't we bounce off the bottom of the flag and go up to 48? I mean, I guess we could, but I don't see a reason why, and none of the hourly charts look anything like they want to bounce. Especially if this daily candle closes like this, that's never a good sign. So I wouldn't anticipate a bounce here. I would wait. You know, if you miss an opportunity, then you miss an opportunity. But I would at least wait for some kind of like a double bottom to form. So maybe you long here, but don't ever try and catch a falling knife. This could definitely be a May type scenario. This could go a lot deeper. There were lots of people that bought in here, and we literally just knifed through it and went down another like 50%. So again, be very, very careful trying to catch the falling knife, so to speak. Do you think we're going 46 before the crash? No. I think we're just going to crash. I seriously think we're just going to crash. I mean, look, anything can happen, but again, the hourly time frames are not showing any sort of promise. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. So one big thing I wanted to point out, and there are people saying that, you know, diagonal line wise, they're like, oh, look, Bitcoin dominance has fallen out of its diagonal support. And guys, again, diagonal support doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. I would look more at horizontal support and resistance. We actually saw Bitcoin dominance kind of reject off an area of resistance up here, and then come back and retest the support area. So we have support really between here and here, and we actually bounced right off support. We should continue going up to the upside and maybe retest this resistance. Again, if we get to that point, Bitcoin, especially your altcoins, are going to get absolutely murdered. And if we break this whole entire descending wedge, which again, descending wedge, very bullish pattern, that's going to be no bueno for the rest of the market. You're going to see a sub 1K Ethereum. You're going to see a lot of these altcoins never come back. Phone is listening to me, man. Freaking government. All they do is listen to what I say. Trying to get me, I swear. When do I expect to retire? I don't think I'll ever retire from like my job, which is this. I like live streaming. I like talking to people. I like helping them out. I started teaching like trading classes, and on top of that, like I tried to expand multiple sources of income within the trading space, and it's been very, very successful. I've signed a couple of partnerships with exchanges and with trading platforms. So overall, I have a nice set of income, and I don't think I'll ever like retire. I like to work. I like to stay busy. I like trading. I love trading, and I love the financial space. So for me, this is like living the dream, man. Like I love what I do, and I wouldn't want it any other way. We need to flush out 98% of alts. We really do. The only altcoins that really matter are Ethereum, Link, maybe some of the gaming tokens, maybe some of the NFT tokens. But other than that, I mean, all of these alts are overvalued. They were pumped up during our alt season, and they will continue to drop to the downside. But ultimately, Bitcoin dominance looking extremely bullish here. I mean, this is a big breakout and retest here, but this should, unless we lose this 41%, which I don't see happening, we should continue going to the upside. Very much so. Whoops. Very, very much. And again, I just want to put in perspective, we are at a very serious level. This was actually the bottom, or well, really the top for cryptocurrency in 2018, where we started to see coins start to drop and lose a lot of value. Well, now we're at the same similar level in, I guess, a distribution, because this was distribution, again, a distributive area, and we should see this continue up and a lot of these coins to, again, lose a lot of their value. Any chance for DeFi tokens? I mean, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Again, guys, I have a very harsh view of altcoins. I think a lot of altcoins are very useless. A lot of them are pump and dump schemes. A lot of them, they pump a lot in price. The dev team says they're going to do all this amazing stuff, and then they never do. Guys, I've been sucked into the altcoin, the alt train many, many times, and eventually you fall out and you're like, nah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link. Like, seriously, I wouldn't be looking at all these other projects that really haven't survived a bear market yet, meaning they haven't been put through a bear market. If you have altcoins that have been through a bear market or multiple bear markets, and they're constantly breaking all-time highs, and they're still performing well, and they have a good team, like specifically Ethereum, and I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this. Ethereum has consistently broken its all-time high in many of the prior bear, like in the last bear market, and it broke it pretty considerably. So for me, Ethereum looks like a great long-term investment. Now, if you look at something like XRP, and a lot of people don't understand why I don't like XRP, and this is literally the reason why I don't like XRP, other than the fact that it is completely centralized, and they can do whatever they want with the supply, so they can increase supply, which demotes the value of the entire coin. So here we were in 2018. Here was the bull market height in 2021. Here was the alt season at the end of 2022. So it looks like it is literally just failing to break an all-time high, to break a prior all-time high. And again, XRP just looks like shit. It's a terrible coin. It's never going to go anywhere. I will say that till my last breath. I believe in harmony. I mean, hey, you're more than welcome to believe in whatever altcoins you want, and that's the good thing about this. If you believe in it, invest in it. Like, I'm personally going to stake with Crypto.com with Crow. Once Crow drops another 50%, I was going to stake. I have a methodology to this because I see Crypto.com everywhere, and I think that it would be a worthwhile, risky investment. And now, granted, the amount that I will stake in Crow will be completely covered by the interest I'm paid by Crypto.com from the other amount of USDC that I have in their interest earning account. So it's a zero risk trade to me. But for me, I was like, if I'm going to put it into an altcoin, why not try that? Because Crypto.com is everywhere. They were in the Super Bowl. They sponsored the UFC. To me, it just seemed like it was worth it. Got banned on Discord for quoting you at 43K price, went to 45, and I just asked what it would do to change to take your bias. Oh, so just so you guys know, Discord, okay, so we have bots that delete like like other bots that join Discord and scammers and shit. If you were banned in Discord, send me a DM on Discord. That was completely not intentional. You got banned because we actually have a bot that was like we were trying to program it a little better, and it like banned like a big chunk of people. You weren't banned for anything in particular. It was literally just because there was a technical issue. I tried to tweet this out, and I'll say it now. If you were banned from Discord, just DM me. I'll invite you back. Again, it was a big technical issue, and I apologize for that. Yeah, that's the plan, Jimmy. Just trade on the beach, buy a big ass house, buy a big ass boat, and just continue trading. I'm Mr. Krabs, man. I love money, so I love having a lot of it. CPI tomorrow, more fuel for the crash, maybe. I think it's just going to be a very, very volatile day tomorrow, honestly. What do you think Quan is doing right now? I don't care what he's doing. I think he just baited retail to buy. He was literally just changing hands with another whale, and I try to tell people that, and they're like, no, he's buying. Like, if he was really buying the amount that he said he was buying, we would be in supply shock and going up to all-time highs. Like, it was just a change of hands. It was very clear and very easy to see. But this is getting interesting. It looks like we're actually dropping out of our flag now. Not considerably yet, but it looks like we're just about to exit the flag. So, again, this is volume heating up for most likely a big crash to the downside, like we've been saying. Your Discord was free. It still is free. I saw your post about that. I'm happy I survived the unintentional purge. Yeah, like I said, unintentional purge. If you got banned, just DM me. I'll unban you. It was completely unintentional. We've only banned like 10 people in all of our Discord's history. We don't really ban anybody. I mean, you have to be like a real asshole to get banned. And a lot of people are just there to learn. They don't really care for all the bullshit. Yeah, but yeah, it's still free. Still free. So you say we go down, but you think we'll see lower prices that 2018. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Just look at Harmony, honestly, breaking all-time highs every time. I believe 0.5 or $1 next bull run. So my thing with one, and again, I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure it's never survived a bear market. Ooh, yeah, it's never been through a bear market. It looks like the chart started in 2019, in June, July of 2019. It's never seen a bear market. This looks like a typical altcoin that will probably do one of these and just never, maybe do one of those every once in a while, but it looks like it'll never bounce back. Nothing against you, and if it does, I hope it does. I hope you make a lot of money off of it, but again, I'd be very, very careful with coins that have never seen a bear market. What do you think is a good M to short Bitcoin? I mean, you missed the short opportunities. For now, I wouldn't look to enter shorts because we're in oversold territory. We could continue to dump a lot further, but again, we're very much in oversold territory in the hourly time frames. We could bounce, but it's not certain. Just because I say we could bounce, honestly, I don't think we will. I think we're just going to crash, but a bounce is definitely very possible. Which I knew you before you, instead of the idiot Moon Boys tweets. Really, thanks, man, for anything. Oh, anytime, man. More than happy to help. Can stables lose their value in the crash? They shouldn't. I guess they could, but they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. All right. So I think we've pretty much covered everything we've wanted to. If you guys have any questions, I'll feel free to answer them now. Like I said, guys, please be careful who you follow on Twitter. Be careful who you're getting your advice or learning from. This crash was very much expected. We've been calling these crashes for the last 5 months. We've been calling out bearish price action. Trust me, if this was bullish, I'd be all over it. I'd be telling you to buy. I'd be pretty much on every mountaintop calling for bullishness. This is not bullish. This is by far one of the most bearish scenarios I've ever seen. So please be careful who you follow. Price will bounce here and there, and when it does, just know that everyone's going to get loud and say that they're back to bullish. And please do multiple aptitudes of analysis. Don't just look at MACD and say that the chart's bullish. We touching support in the flag and Bollinger. We seem to be oversold, not looking to long, though. Yeah, I'm not looking to long this at all. How do I feel about Cardano? I think it's going to die. I think it's done. I don't think it's ever going to bounce back. How should we look for altcoins in the next bull run that could do 5 to 10x? I would literally just stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can make a 20 to 50x from both those coins from their bear market bottoms. Like, seriously, from bear market bottom to all-time high, Ethereum did like a 60x or like an 80x. Actually, I think it did more than that. So, all right, real quick, while these questions start flowing in, just so you guys know, the trading classes are still on Patreon. They're still going to be available up until the end of May, and then I'm going to take a break from really all of that, enjoy my summer, and I'll bring them back next fall, or maybe like late in the summer. I'm going to restructure them, make them a 4-month-long class so that you guys have a window, time frame, and so on and so forth. With that said, if you guys are interested in a better exchange, I urge you to use Bitget. They have the top five derivatives liquidity. They're the safest and most secure exchange in the U.S. I always recommend people, if you're in the U.S., please don't use an exchange that's no KYC or non-KYC. You want to be protected by the SEC. I know that everyone says what they will about the SEC, but if you use an exchange like KuCoin and they steal your money or something weird happens and your money's gone, the SEC will not be able to help you. So I always urge people, use exchanges that are valid and approved by the SEC. With that said, guys, I really appreciate all the support on Twitter and Discord and in the live stream. It's been an awesome year. For those of you that don't know, I started Twitter about a year ago, but I've been trading in this market for much longer than that. I wanted to take my analysis to Twitter. In the last year, I've grown up to almost 25,000 followers. I really didn't get serious posting on Twitter until about September, but I did start around April. I did open the account in April, so I wanted to thank a lot of you guys. Thanks for riding that train with me. Thank you for all the support in Discord. In the last year, we've grown at 5,000 members. Never thought we'd get this far, and this is only beginning. Just again, big thank you. Really, really appreciate it. And Bitcoin is now shitting its pants. This is great. With all that said, thank you guys so much. Seems like the majority are anticipating a recession. The minority thinks there's a reacceleration in the next 12 to 24 months. Thoughts? I think the reacceleration already happened, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think that I think we actually saw that fifth wave theory already from the COVID crash. I explained it earlier in the stream if you want to go back and check it out. But ultimately, I think the majority might be more than right. And also, I think that although you're saying majority, right? You're like the majority of people are saying recession. Like, no, your average person has no idea what's going on right now. They have no idea what's about to happen, and they have no idea what to do as a result of what's about to happen. So for me, it's like a small group of people on Twitter are saying recession. The rest of the people are watching cat videos, and they have no idea what's going on. Did you get hit by the Binance 8K wick? Yes, I did. I was up $25,000 in like 2 days, and that was the last swing long trade I was in. And yeah, I got hit. My stops were at break even, so although I got stopped out, at least I broke even. I didn't lose any money. It really pissed me off, and that's why I moved exchanges. And it was very fortunate because I was using Femex and I didn't like their withdrawal times. And Bitget approached me, and I was a little skeptical. This space is skeptical, right? But I had them send me their packet. I talked to their board. I talked to everybody there, and seemed pretty sincere, and did a lot of research on the exchange. They didn't have any issues or anything underlying that I thought would be a problem. So ultimately, I accepted the partnership, moved about 80% of my account onto the exchange, and I've been trading with them. They've been great. Haven't had any issues. Haven't seen any scam wicks, and ultimately, if you're a leverage trader, I urge you not to use leverage. But if you like leverage, they have up to they have a shit ton of leverage. So you're more than welcome to do that as well. Yo, what up, Fox? How we doing? First time watching your stream today. You're a real one. Thank you. Hey, anytime. Sometimes we get a little aggressive on stream. You know, we're calling people out, and sometimes we go on Twitter and make fun of people. Not really, not make fun of them. Sorry, critique them. Because I personally get a lot of critique. I get called a perma bear. Guys, I'm just trying to be real. We've been in a bear market for the last year, whether you want to accept that this was a new all-time high or not. I mean, yes, I acknowledge that it's a new all-time high, but 6%. For me, this was all a distributive time period. Did I long? Yes, I longed here. I longed here. Yeah, I longed in here, not quite at the bottom. I tried to trade this as a long. I got boned, but since then, I mean, I really haven't made a big swing long trade. Looking forward to the next one for sure, though. We'll be on the lookout. Probably a little too late to short. Yeah, it's too late to short. Are you going to see 36K? What's the feel? I mean, I think we're going to see 30, 20, 17, possibly 13K. Capitulation is next, my man. Capitulation is next. Right, guys. Roman, you LOL-ish. Polish. No, I'm not Polish. I don't know why. It's because I'm white right now. Like, I'm usually, like, olive. I've been living in the damn Midwest, and they barely get any sun, so my skin is super white. No, I'm not Polish, dude. I'm actually Sicilian. Like, Italy. And, well, it's the island off Italy. If my grandfather, who married my grandmother, if she didn't take his last name, my last name would be like it'd be either Acapinti or it'd be Servino. So I wish I had the Italian last name. It would definitely help out. But no, I also have like shitty ass lighting, and it shows my very pasty pale skin even worse. But no, honestly, when it's sunny, I'm generally pretty tan. Hopefully in the next month, I'll be outside more and whatnot. All right, guys. I am going to I'm gonna end the stream here. I really appreciate all the support over the last year. It means a lot to me. Please join Discord. Come discuss with us. I've been more active in it since we've been kind of taking the trading classes down a bit. But yeah, no, I really appreciate all of the support. Looking forward to streaming on Wednesday. Hopefully some crazy shit happens. We can talk about it. But in the meantime, guys, please be careful who you're following. If they only have one scenario on their chart and they're not showing you a macro view, they're usually not a great trader. If they're not talking about the macro factors that are happening right now, you might want to reconsider their opinion. I never want to tell you who you can and can't follow, but I do want to point you guys in the right direction. With all that said, please be patient, use risk management, and good luck trading.